A father stands by his car. Can't remember where his keys are. Had them a second ago. He pats his pockets, scans the ground, the seat, and something crosses his face you've never seen. Not a child's confusion, a grown man's, realizing he's losing his grip on a small thing he never thought about. You're standing beside him, saying nothing, and under thought you already know. What's happening to him now will soon reach the two of you. A relationship unchanged in 40 years. There are 7 signs you're truly growing up toward your parents. Not at 18 when you moved out, but now when roles start trading places. 6 you'll likely recognize in yourself. The 7th comes last, and almost always changes everything before it. Until it arrives, even the right care feels like a duty. Once it shows, it stops being one. And honestly, no advice about forgiving your parents in 30 days and walking free. Doesn't work that way. First, you see the person in your parent, not the function. You're standing in the pharmacy line next to your mother. She counts change slowly, fumbles, apologizes to the cashier and to you. 5 years ago, you'd have rushed her with a look or paid yourself without looking. Now you stand and wait, and catch yourself thinking, what was she like at 30? What did she dream of before becoming your mom? As children, we mostly take a parent in through their role. The one who feeds, allows, punishes, drives you to school. We rarely see a separate life in them. We didn't need to. A child cares what's given, not who gives it. The trouble is, many stay in that lens at 45, waiting on the parent for a function, irritated when they get a person, with their fears, pride, fatigue. Growing up begins where you first ask your parent a personal question. Not, did you eat? But what was your childhood like? Or, what do you regret? You don't need a full answer. What matters is, it was asked. You're already looking at the person, not through them. And that's the first quiet turn. All his life he looked at you. Now, for the first time, you look at him. That's how it begins, unnoticed. The thing families name least. You both trading places. Second, there are words you'll probably never hear from a parent, and that doesn't mean you weren't loved. For many, the same scene lives inside for years. You pull off something you can be proud of, and deep down you wait for words. I'm proud of you. You did it. I was wrong back then. And you get a short, or the neighbor parking wrong again. It's one of the most stubborn forms of childhood dependence, dressed up as adult life. We're independent on paper, our own family, job, mortgage, and inside we're still waiting for a final grade from people who often couldn't give one, because no one taught them how. Honesty in one direction here. If this is real abuse or a parent who tore you down for years, that's a separate conversation and work, not 7 points in a video. But for most, it's simpler and sadder. Ordinary, imperfect parents who loved the way they could and couldn't say it out loud. Maturity here isn't finally prying the right words out of them. It's naming honestly to yourself what you missed, grieving it as a fact, and no longer making every visit an annual exam for approval. You can love them and accept at once. Those words aren't coming. And live on, no longer waiting for your parents to finally tell you what you're worth. Third, when you stop waiting on your parents for outside approval, something else happens. You suddenly find the right to refuse them. You can say no, without guilt, without a fight. A call Wednesday night. Come tomorrow, I need your help. You've got a work day, a kid with a fever, a meeting you can't move. The old reflex, drop everything and go, because refusing a parent felt like betrayal. Or the opposite, snap, blow up, hang up, guilty for the anger itself. Boundaries with parents are almost always the last a person learns to set, because they were the first authority in your life, before we even learned the word no. The body remembers that hierarchy longer than the mind can revise it. It's not about refusing more often, it's the tone. You can say a firm no, without shouting, without guilt, and the warmth doesn't go anywhere. A line you can rehearse ahead. Today I can't, but Saturday I'm all yours. That's not a refusal to love. It's making your help last, not burn out in a year. Notice, everything we've talked about so far, and everything still ahead, can be done out of the very same sense of duty. The seventh sign, the one we'll still get to, is the only one that changes not what you do, but why you do it. Fourth, a question hangs in the family chat. Who's driving mom to her tests this time? It hangs 2 days. Nobody wants to type me first. Your brother's on vacation. Your sister finds weekdays awkward. In the end, you go. You were closer. And then you notice one more strange thing. Your parents start calling you not because they know something, but because they hope. Now you know. The one who used to answer all your childhood questions suddenly starts asking you. Doctors, meds, documents, calls to the clinic, talk about who's off to the country house this year to fix the fence. Sooner or later, it all lands on one of the kids. Often the one who happened to be closer, geographically or emotionally. And it's easy to fall into two extremes. Haul it alone, quietly resenting your siblings, or the opposite, pointedly step aside because why me? There it is, that same role reversal nobody names, though nearly every family goes through it. The child once led by the hand, now leads by the hand the ones who led him. It's not about power, not about who's in charge now. It's that the support you leaned on your whole life is starting to need yours, and you can fight that fact, or accept it as a new form of closeness. You take on the coordinating, and don't make it a bill you'll present to a sibling one day. Maturity here is carrying that role without heroics or resentment, saying it to the family, plainly, who does what. I've got the doctors, someone takes finances, someone the regular calls. Not silent martyrdom or a silent exit, but an open talk about splitting the load. That's what grown people do, and children in adult bodies almost always avoid. Fifth, at the family table someone drops it, as if in passing. Well, if something happens to me, and doesn't finish. Everyone cuts in at once, changes the subject, suddenly remembers the oven's on. One word ends a conversation faster than any fight. A will. Almost everyone knows this. A parent's mortality is one of the most closed off in ordinary families. Behind it isn't just sadness, but the fear of losing the support that was your first. Psychologically, dodging it masks not care for the parent, but the child's dread, even at 45, of losing the last person who remembers you as a baby. You're able to talk about it aloud, calmly, not in dread, not with cold efficiency, but with respect, to ask, one day, what matters to you if it gets hard? How do you want this to look? Not to rush the end. But respect for someone's will is love that keeps working even when they can't voice it anymore. Done honestly once, such a talk later clears away huge guilt and chaos in the hardest moment. Sixth, everything above, the attention, the boundaries, the coordinating, the honest talks, rests on one resource easy to squander without noticing. You know how to spare yourself, not as selfishness, but as the condition for lasting. There's a particular tiredness familiar to almost anyone who's cared for an aging parent. Not physical, but built from quiet strain year after year. Your own checkups, skipped. Plans with friends, canceled. Irritation at your spouse that isn't about them. And somewhere inside, a short, shameful thought you can't forgive. Just let no one call today. And right after, horror you could even think it. That shame doesn't make you bad. It just shows your strength isn't endless. Kids who become the support for aging parents are often sure. Pull back a little, and the care turns incomplete, unloving. In reality, a burned-out, drained person gives less warmth, not more, just fakes coping longer. The practical step is simple and the hardest. Ask for help specifically, not in general. Not, this is hard on me, but can you take Tuesday's calls? Or I need 2 evenings a week for myself. And don't count it as weakness. care that destroys the caregiver in time destroys the one cared for too, because what's left beside them isn't a person, just a shadow. And the seventh, the one I named at the start, it comes after all the others, and willpower can't force it. It's the moment you notice. You're taking it all on. The calls, doctors, documents, hard talks, weekend trips, not because you have to anymore, but because you choose to. The difference is huge, though it sounds subtle. Bare duty turns care into a heavy bill. You're paying back what you were supposedly shorted, or owe. Choice doesn't cancel the tiredness, but it changes its meaning. The source is no longer debt, but gratitude this person is in your life, with all his mistakes. You're sitting next to him, explaining for the 5th time this month how to unlock his phone. Irritation used to rise inside, the same thing again. Now, just calm. Not because you have to, because you choose to. Plenty of psychologists, and just self-aware people, notice the same. As long as arithmetic rules with your parents, who owes whom how much, there's never peace, however much you do. Peace comes where a person one day stops settling scores and simply loves the one in front of him, as he is now, not as he should have been 20 years ago. Many walk this through faith. At some point, they stop being their only source of strength and learn to lean on the one greater than them. Others call it accepting their limits. The meaning is one. Not everything must be held alone. And that's usually where the strength comes from to forgive parents for being ordinary, tired, imperfect. The same as well one day be for our kids. Back to the father by the car who can't find his keys. In a few minutes, they turn up in another pocket. He'd put them there himself and forgotten. An ordinary scene, nothing dramatic. But something in it won't go back to how it was. And that's not a loss. It's the start of a different closeness, where you no longer wait to be led by the hand, but can lead without falling apart. If you recognized yourself in 2 or 3 of these signs, you're probably closer to growing up this way than you thought. And now you'll notice this role switch, not just in yourself, in friends at the next table, in a coworker who keeps stepping out to see his parents. If you needed this talk, hit like. And if it brought someone to mind who needs it right now, forward it to them. One last thing you usually get too late. Someday, any of us would give anything to drive mom to those same tests once more, grumbling about traffic, an ordinary day, and just sit with her in the waiting room. While the chance is still here, it isn't a duty. It's time. And how you live it now won't disappear along with them. It'll stay in you. A quiet support you'll lean on yourself one day, when the one who remembers you small is no longer there.